Kinder friends, happy Wednesday. This video is going to be talking about reading, writing, and math. If you have any questions about any other subject areas, pop on over to our Monday video that will tell you about social studies, health, gym, STEM, art, music, and all that jazz. Let's get started with reading. In reading this week, we are reading the story Because You Recycle. Once again, this should be in your packet. If it is not in your packet, or if you can't find it, go ahead and hop over to our classroom website and you can listen to me reading the story to you. In writing, let's try this again. Hi, Kinder friends. Happy Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about reading, writing, and math. If you have any questions about any other subject areas, pop on over to our Monday video that's going to explain everything you need to do this week. Let's get started with reading. In reading this week, we are reading our story Because You Recycle. Remember, this book is in your packet. If you can't find it, pop on over to our classroom website where you can watch a video of me reading the story to you. Here's what they want you to do. They want you to read the story, practice your vocabulary, and look for the part that repeats. What part goes over and over and over again on every page of the story. The next thing we're practicing is letters, sounds, and words. This week you've got some new lists, Kinder friends. A new list of letter sounds for you to practice, and a new list of decodable words for you to practice as well. Remember, decodable words are words that you may not be able to read in a snap because they're not sight words, but you can stretch them out. And this week, they gave you some challenge words. Those words on the bottom have 4 letters. They might be a little bit harder to read than the 3-letter ones. So I know you can do it. Use that smart brain of yours and try to stretch those words out. This week, our rhyming word family is the IG word family. So let's get started first with the word family house. That should be always the first activity you do because you're going to need to know those words to do everything else. So we've got our word family house, IG. Let's talk about some IG words. What's that? A pig. A pig starts or has an IG word or an IG chunk at the end. There we go. It's an IG word family word. Ig, pig. Try to write that word on the line. Ooh, looks like this guy is finding some things in the ground. He went digging. Dig, ig, dig. That's another ig word. Ooh, that's not a stick. It's a twig. Ig, twig. Try to write that word in your word family house. There's a lot of other IG words you can write, so you should be able to fill up this house today. Then, just as a reminder, we've got hop or clap it out, clap or hop each letter of the word, then say it. Then we've got read it, write it, draw it. In your packet, you've got a worksheet that looks like this. Our first word is big, big. We're going to read it, write it, and draw it. Big is kind of a weird word to draw. I drew an elephant because I know an elephant is big. Then we've got use it in a sentence. Your worksheet top looks like this. We've got the word big, write a sentence. The elephant was big. That's me using the word big in a sentence. And the last one is make it fancy. Here's our worksheet, and I'm going to write the word big using different crayons, markers, lots of other things to make my letters big. Kinder friends, here's one thing I want to remind you about this rhyming choice board. Something I may have said in the past is you have to do all 5 activities. You do not need to do all 5 of these activities, okay? I want you to pick one of them to do each day, all right? Today, I would suggest you do the word family house because that one is really good for you to practice. You do not need to do all 5 of them because we're not starting this until Wednesday, and that would mean you have to do 2 a day, and that might just be a little bit too much work for you guys at home. So try to pick one each day for you to do. All right? That should help lighten the load a little bit. And remember, there's also an optional song with the IG word family for you guys to watch. Then we've got our new sight word, big. Wow, what a coincidence. Big. Big is spelled B-I-G. B is a tall letter, I is a short letter, and G is a tail letter. You've got one of each today in your word. B-I-G. Then we're going to write big 3 times on the lines and draw a picture and write a sentence using the word big. Remember, there's also another optional song for you. There's a link that you can click on if you have the PDF version, or you can type that into your computer and it will bring up a song with the word big. Writing. This week we are writing thank you letters to someone that you are thanking them for something. So you already have this paper in your packet, and it's going to be teaching or talking you through how to write a letter. If you are done with your letter and you want to send it to someone, remember you can mail it or you could take a picture of it and send it to them. They would love to see your thank you letter. Math. Today in math, we're going to be talking about money. So, families, if you have some coins at your house, now would be the time to go get them. We're going to be looking at different kinds of coins. This coin is called a penny. A penny is worth 1 cent. This coin is called a nickel. A nickel is worth 5 cents. This coin is called a dime. A dime is worth 10 cents. This coin is called a quarter. A quarter is worth 25 cents. Those are the 4 coins that we're going to be talking about in kindergarten. There are a couple other coins, but we don't really use them very much. These are the ones that we're going to be learning about in kindergarten. Now, I don't expect you to remember everything I just said. I made a video for you. If you want to pop over to our classroom website and look for this video all about money, it'll teach you a little bit more about those coins and kind of remind you some of the things that we already learned about money in kindergarten. In your math book today, we are going to be talking about money. So you've got your penny, nickel, dime, and quarter. Those are the 4 coins that we're going to be using. And at the top of the page, it gives you a little bit more information about them. So a penny, like I said, is worth 1 cent. Nickel is worth 5 cents. A dime is worth 10, and a quarter is worth 25 cents. We have not talked about quarters yet this year in kindergarten, so this might be a little bit new for you, kinder friends. So one other thing I wanted to point out is you see how it has those letters P, N, D, and Q? Instead of having to write the word penny all the time, we're just going to write the letter P. And every time we want to write the word nickel, we're just going to write an N. If we want to write dime, we write a D. And if we want to write quarter, we're going to put a Q. That's going to help us instead of having to write those letters all the time. All right? Now, a penny, like I said, is worth 1 cent. A nickel is worth 5. A dime is worth 10. And a quarter is worth 25 cents. Sometimes I like to write the numbers on top of the coins to help me remember how many cents they are. So at the bottom it says, write the letter and the number of cents. The first one they did for you, it's a nickel. Even though it's the back side of a nickel, it's still a nickel. So they wrote the N, and they remembered that a nickel is worth 5 cents, so they wrote the number 5. So you're going to do that for all of those coins. You can look at the very top of your paper, and it should help you with everything you would ever need to know for this worksheet, okay? It's got the front and the back of the coins, it's got the letters, it's got the money numbers. All the stuff you need is at the top of that worksheet. Now the back of your worksheet, I'm going to give you a little trick here, okay? It wants you to write the number of cents. Remember my little trick that I said writing the numbers on top of the coins is going to help you? This is where it's really going to help you. So I'm writing the number 1 on all of my pennies. This is going to help me be able to figure out how many cents I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pennies. So that means I have 7 cents. Now let's try to do the next one together. That first one is not a penny. It's a nickel. So I'm going to write the number 5. Then I'm going to put ones on the rest of my pennies, and I'm going to have to count on. So I'm going to have 5 cents in my head. I'm going to count on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cents for number 2. If this is a little tricky for you, kinder friends, ask your big brother or sister or your mom or dad or your grandma or grandpa, whoever's at your house to help you with it, okay? Money can be kind of tricky, but it is something your first grade teachers want you to know how to do. So I would say don't skip this page if it's tricky, just ask for help, all right? Remember, you've got that video on our classroom website if you want a little bit of extra practice with money. All right, kinder friends, remember, don't stress about this. Do what you can. Take lots of breaks. Remember, you are so smart. Happy Wednesday, kinder friends. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.